Welcome to another journey through the pages of the Bible. Have you ever wondered about the cost of a father's blessing? As we turn to Genesis 27, we find an aging Isaac, his vision clouded by the passage of time, ready to bestow his blessing upon his eldest son Esau. This is no ordinary blessing, mind you. In the patriarchal society of old, this is a divine legacy, a prophecy of prosperity and authority, meant for the firstborn. Yet, unbeknownst to Isaac, his wife Rebekah is a silent spectator to this unfolding drama. She hears Isaac's request for Esau to hunt game and prepare a savory meal, the precursor to receiving the blessing. A mother's heart is stirred, her loyalty divided. Rebekah favors Jacob, her younger son, and she sees an opportunity to alter destiny's course. But as we'll soon discover, Rebekah has other plans in mind. Now, we delve into the heart of our story. Rebekah, a mother with a preference and a plan. Rebekah, wife of Isaac, mother of Esau and Jacob, becomes the pivotal character in this tale of deception and blessings. She is the one who sets the wheels of the elaborate plan in motion. In the midst of this family dynamic, she has a clear favorite: Jacob, the smooth-skinned son. Rebekah's plan is nothing short of audacious. She decides to deceive her husband, Isaac, who is now old and nearly blind, to secure the blessing for Jacob. The blessing, usually reserved for the firstborn Esau, is what Rebekah seeks for her favored son. The stakes are high, and the risk of being caught is immense. But Rebekah, driven by her preference for Jacob, is willing to gamble. She instructs Jacob to bring her 2 young goats. Her intention? To prepare a meal that perfectly mimics Esau's hunting skills, a meal that Isaac loves. This is the first step in her plan to deceive Isaac and secure the blessing for Jacob. But Jacob, aware of the risks, expresses his concern. He fears being caught and cursed instead of blessed. But Rebekah, ever the determined mother, reassures him and takes the risk upon herself. She is willing to bear the curse if it comes to that for the sake of her son. Rebekah's deception is a risky gamble, filled with potential pitfalls. It's a plan that could either secure a future of blessings for Jacob or plunge the family into turmoil. But despite the risks, Rebekah presses on, driven by her love for Jacob and her desire to see him blessed. The stage is set, the actors are ready, but will the plan succeed? As we move forward, we'll see the consequences of Rebekah's deception unfold, revealing a family drama that's as compelling as it is complex. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into this fascinating story from Genesis 27. The moment of truth arrives. Jacob, disguised as Esau, stands before his father. Stepping into the dimly lit room, Jacob feels the weight of the world on his shoulders. He is not only carrying a tray of his mother's deliciously prepared meat, but also a plot of deception that could change the course of his life forever. With his heart pounding in his chest, Jacob approaches Isaac. He presents the meal, his voice dressed in the confident, robust tones of his brother Esau. He claims to have returned quickly from the hunt, guided by the Lord. Isaac, taken aback by the speedy return, becomes suspicious. He reaches out, his aged hands exploring the unfamiliar landscape of his son's disguised arms. The goatskins, cleverly placed by Rebekah, fool Isaac into believing he is indeed touching the hairy arms of his eldest son Esau. Isaac, still somewhat doubtful, asks Jacob to come close so he can smell him. The scent of the fields, carried by Esau's clothes that Jacob is wearing, confirms Isaac's belief that he is indeed blessing Esau. And so, the blessing is given. Isaac, in his heartfelt and sincere words, passes on the covenant God had made with his father Abraham. He blesses Jacob, unknowingly, with the dew of heaven, the richness of earth, and the power to rule over nations. He unknowingly bestows upon Jacob the privilege that was meant for Esau, setting in motion a series of events that would forever alter their lives. In this moment, Jacob, cloaked in deception, receives his father's blessing. He steps out of the room, leaving behind an air of unease that hangs heavily, a silent witness to the deception that has just taken place. But what happens when the truth unravels? Let's find out. The veil lifts, and the harsh reality sets in. Esau returns, ready for his blessing. His heart is full of anticipation, unaware of the deception that has just taken place. He comes in from the field, the scent of the wild still clinging to his garments. He has hunted and prepared a meal, just as his father Isaac had requested. But as he steps forward to receive his blessing, the world seems to crumble around him. The truth sinks in like a stone in a deep pond. His brother Jacob has stolen his blessing. The realization hits him with the force of a thunderbolt, leaving him reeling. His voice breaks with the raw pain of betrayal as he utters the words, "Bless me, even me also, O my father." Isaac, the father he has trusted and loved, is stricken with remorse. He stammers out a secondary blessing, a prophecy of a life of struggle and servitude, a far cry from the abundance promised to Jacob. The words hang heavy in the air, a stark contrast to the joyous occasion they had anticipated. In that moment, Esau's world shifts. The pain etches itself deeply into his heart, transforming into a dangerous grudge that would shape their lives forever. Esau's heart now harbors a dangerous grudge. From a blessing to a death threat, the family drama intensifies. The story takes a dark turn as Esau, brimming with rage and bitterness, lets his grudge against Jacob take hold. Esau's heart is filled with such anger that he makes a solemn vow, a vow to kill his own brother, Jacob. The blessing that was meant to be his, now firmly in the hands of Jacob, fuels Esau's wrath and the desire for vengeance. However, the ever-watchful Rebekah proves to be a protective mother. She gets wind of Esau's vengeful intent and decides to act swiftly to prevent fratricide. She decides to send Jacob away, a tough decision indeed, but one that she believes is necessary for his survival. She plans for him to stay with her brother Laban in Haran, far from Esau's reach, until Esau's fury subsides and he forgets his murderous plan. This plan, however, is not without its own set of challenges. It means separation from her beloved son Jacob, and the uncertainty of when they will meet again. But Rebekah is determined to protect Jacob at all costs, even if it means sending him into the unknown. But Rebekah has another concern, one that adds fuel to the fire. In the midst of the turmoil, Rebekah voices her concern. Her son Esau, driven by anger and bitterness, has taken Hittite women as his wives. This decision does not sit well with Rebekah. The Hittites, who were non-Hebrews, were considered outsiders. Their customs, traditions, and values were different, and Rebekah feared that these differences would pull Esau further away from his family and his faith. Rebekah's heart aches as she watches her elder son make choices that she believes are not in his best interest. She is a mother torn between the love for her son and the concern for his spiritual well-being. Her worry extends beyond Esau. She fears that Jacob, her younger son, may follow in his brother's footsteps and marry a local Hittite woman. Unable to bear the thought, Rebekah pleads with Isaac. She expresses her fear, her concern, and her wish that Jacob should not marry a local woman. She urges Isaac to send Jacob away to her brother Laban in Paddan Aram. There she hopes Jacob will find a wife from their own people, someone who shares their beliefs, their values, and their faith. Isaac, hearing the worry in Rebekah's voice, takes her plea to heart. He calls Jacob, blesses him, and sends him away to Paddan Aram to find a suitable wife. And so Jacob leaves his home, not just to escape Esau's wrath, but also to fulfill his mother's wish. In the midst of the deception and the blessings, Rebekah's concern paints a picture of a mother's love. Her actions, whether right or wrong, were driven by her love for her sons and her desire for their well-being. And so, our story concludes, leaving a family fractured by deception and a blessing that changed their lives forever.